Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Walking the Candy Aisle. Jeff here once again with the Kit Kat Chunky, returning this time in the double caramel SKU. Very, very exciting. A few months ago, I guess, I don't know, I reviewed some Kit Kat Chunkies from Australia, and they were the Kit Kat Chunky 3s. And there was I think there was a mint SKU, a cookie SKU, and then a caramel SKU. And it was three, so there were three sections, and each section had its own different kind of caramel, like a different way to present the caramel. And now this is the Canadian version of it, I guess, with somewhat similar, but it's just two kinds. It's the double caramel. So we've got crunchy caramel and smooth caramel. It almost feels like it should be peanut butter, right? Like a crunchy and a smooth peanut butter. So, is this going to be the same experience, only just two instead of three, as the Kit Kat Chunky 3 caramel? I can't say, honestly. I've never heard of this. I never saw it. First time I ever heard of this was after I did the Chunky 3 review. Someone left a note in the comments saying that, oh, we've got double caramel. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's weird. I've never heard of that. And then literally I just saw this in a dollar store today. I've never even seen this in a regular store, in just a regular like grocery store or convenience store or something. It had to be the dollar store where they get the weird stuff, right? But it says here that this is a Kit Kat Chunky product license of Nestle Canada, so, which is where I live, by the way. So, I guess this is a thing. But I will say this. In that other review, I felt like the crunchy was a little weird. With little hard bits of caramel floating around in like this caramel kind of sauce. And then the smooth, I don't think this is the same smooth. This looks, in the picture at least, like what on the Kit Kat Chunky 3 caramel was called the gooey. Because the Chunky 3 had smooth, crunchy, and gooey. Oh, man. It's a little warm out here, so that's why it's maybe a little melty. Okay, let's have a look at it, though. I mean, obviously, it just looks like a regular chunky Kit Kat. Get that out of here. Let's just get into it. I think this is the smooth, the gooey side, which was the side that I really liked, if it is gooey. Oh, yeah. It is. Yeah. So, just for reference point, I don't know who would know, Australians, I guess. This smooth, what they call smooth, and this double caramel is the same thing as the gooey. So it's just like your standard sort of presentation and form factor of caramel, like a nice, soft, kind of runny caramel. Goes great with this thick layer of chocolate that you get with sort of the hallmark of the Kit Kat Crunchy bars. So good, I just want to keep eating it. Really, really good. I wish they would make a whole Kit Kat Chunky like that. And I know there is a Kit Kat caramel. I've seen like a small two-fingered Kit Kat caramel. I don't think I reviewed it here, but I have never seen a Kit Kat Chunky caramel that's just like a straight regular caramel. So let's try the crunchy and see if it's different than the Chalk 3, I'm getting so confused, than the Kit Kat Chunky 3 caramel. Let's see if you can see that. Get a shot of that. Well, it certainly tastes pointy. If that's a good thing. Just trying to get in there. So you can kind of see an edge of it. There. Yeah. So It is. It's got this like almost like the consistency of like peanut butter, buttery sort of filling here, cream filling. And then inside that, I guess it's probably caramel flavored. And then inside that are like teeny little shards, little like sand bits, maybe bigger than sand, of caramel, of like a hard caramel. They really feel like shards is probably the right word for them. So, um, that's what you're looking at there. And it's weird. It's got a weird consistency. I said this before, and I still agree. It's not like terrible, but sorry, it's not like terrible, but it's very different, and I don't think it's exactly what I'm looking for in my caramel. I think that this is really the best way to present caramel in a chocolate bar. And I think that there's a reason that most caramel chocolate bars have caramel in this form. You know, you don't see like plate like that kind of glassy caramel. You don't see like crazy super super chewy caramel that often. It's mostly just gooey caramel. And if anyone who watches this channel knows, like caramel and chocolate, like the Dairy Milk caramel bar, the Caramilk bar, you know, like those. It's a classic combination for a reason. It's probably the best pairing of any pairings in the candy world, chocolate and caramel. But you got to get that consistency right. And whereas here they succeed, here it's not quite there, and it's interesting. Don't get me wrong, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. So Walking the Candy Aisle is going to rate the Kit Kat Chunky Double Caramel. I'm going to rate it a 3 out of 5, a strong 3 out of 5. It's a little bit stronger than I did the Kit Kat Chunky 3 Caramel bar. Because that one had two parts of it that I didn't like, or that I wasn't so sure about, and one part that I did like, whereas this only has one part that I'm not so sure about, and one part I like. So it's a strong 3. And I think it's worth picking up just to try it out. I mean, this is an interesting thing to check out, definitely, if you're curious about, if you're caramel curious, I guess. This is definitely something that you might want to seek out if you can't find it. But for all intents and purposes, it's very similar to that other Kit Kat I reviewed, and that's fine. You know, it's not something I'm going to seek out, I don't think. But if ever they do come out with a Kit Kat Chunky that's just straight caramel, I'm all over that for sure. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your, your time. Why don't you click subscribe, and you can get more videos like this. They're all coming out all the time. So, or click any of the other links you see, and yeah, really appreciate it. Okay, guys, I will talk to you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.